it's time for Therapy Thursday!
Yay!
Jack, can I have my Therapy Thursday intro, please?
Therapy Thursday.
Oh, boy. Never have I been given an introduction like that. Never in my life. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr. Stan!
Yay!
We love Dr. Stan, and you can see Dr. Stan.
Weekdays at noon on NBC in the Starting Over House. He's our real psychologist out of Beverly Hills, and thank you for coming in and being a part of our show again. You're our favorite.
I
always my pleasure.
saw you
Yes.
interviewed like on Entertainment Tonight or Access Hollywood or some show, and they were interviewing you as an expert.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I was like, I
A
know
lot
that
of
guy.
responsibility, isn't it?
It is.
I know that guy, and you look super hot.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah, you looked good.
That's
Looked
helpful.
good.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Stan Katz again. The show starting over. It's on noon. It's Emmy award winning.
And Emmy nominated again.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, did you see that Dr. Phil was nominated for what? What was it?
Best hairstylist. The show.
Not kidding.
Not best talk show.
No, best hairstylist.
Well, I
and
think
he's
that
bald.
says something about Dr. Phil's show, doesn't it?
He's bald.
I got it.
Is it a joke?
I have hair, so I can't talk about that.
But I can't believe
it's
that.
a real story. I mean, it really was nominated
Well, they're
for best
talking about
hairstylist.
for the guests, of course. They're talking about best hairstylist for all his guests.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
they
they're-
cry and their hair doesn't even
I
move.
suppose so. I
All
suppose.
right. Anyway, so here's what I know you came in and you said, hey, what you guys been talking about? Let me tell you.
Okay, I can't wait.
Yeah, let me tell you her side. Go ahead.
Okay.
What?
Go ahead. He'll figure it out.
This is
He's
going to be a
smart.
male and female perspective, I can tell already.
No, I'm just in general what we're talking about, not specific, in general.
okay.
In general, we're talking about men who cash in their devoted, dedicated, loving, giving, caring, supportive wives, and they cash them in for long-legged supermodels.
Yep. So what do you think that's about?
I think it's sad.
It is sad, but why do you
It's-
think that happens?
I don't know.
Because
Tell
they're
me.
insecure, because they're growing older, because they want to insulate themselves against growing older, because they are impulsive, and because they lack a commitment to actually who they committed to initially. And so it's all about ego-centered. It's very narcissistic. However,
However, that's not always the
Did
case.
you? I
Stench
wish
is
we
looking,
were on
Stench is looking
tape.
at me like saying, how dare he betray
You know
the
what?
males?
I wish we were on tape because I was listening to you and talking to
And
you.
smiling at me and giving me this crappy
did
little
you see
look.
my face just turn and I went,
did. I looked at Stench. I can see.
Gloating at me.
I didn't even say anything mean to you. I just watched.
Because
you.
here's, I totally get your answer, and you were absolutely correct in his answer. It sounds totally why that happens.
He's on the side of right.
The only thing is, we're assuming that all men that get divorced and then marry a hotter-looking woman are upgrading or cheating or dumping the wife that stood behind them, and we don't know the
First
case
of all,
of the
they're
marriage.
clearly not upgrading. They may be changing. Upgrading because she's leggy supermodel doesn't mean she's a better woman. Doesn't mean she's a better partner
You
at all.
go.
In fact, what people are most attracted to often repels them later on. You know, a lot of men are attracted to that sexy woman, and later on, it's just not that important. A lot of things are
They
more
want
important.
frumpy.
than
Is
that.
there a chance a marriage could fall apart because, let's say, a woman is a psycho bitch and drives the man crazy,
That's
and he's
absolutely
not
true.
cheating on
But-
her,
but
and they
Stench-
just get divorced, and then he marries another attractive
But
woman?
Stench, we
Do you
live in
hear all that?
we live in a disposable society, and people think we can make changes no matter what. And so when you get married, really
What's wrong with you?
the concern is to make that choice to love someone through thick and thin, and to work with them, and to try to make it work. And no one's perfect. A lot of people can't. And sometimes you marry someone who's really wrong for you.
Yeah, I
Two
did
different
that.
pathways.
I did that.
Two different paths. A lot of people do
We
that.
had different religions.
And not
I
only
was
that,
Catholic, she was Satan.
but I think sometimes somebody can drive somebody insane and make them feel like, are you cheating
Have you
on
had
me?
that
Are you-"
personal experience?
Yeah, where you're like, oh my God, are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me? And they always say no, and I always say no, and then you go crazy, and you're like, oh my God,
No. You know what that's about? Because when someone gets accused all the time, they finally say, since I'm being accused, I might as well be acting out.
Oh, I did that.
It's almost like it's a tacit permission. You know, it's a way of saying, and by the way, it's also saying, I'm so concerned about that it may be just a projection. Maybe that's what I really want. Maybe I want to cheat, so I keep accusing
now you're
you of
talking.
cheating.
Yeah, but I mean, that guy that you were with that says, no, I'm not, and I love you, and blah, 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 and then you're like, no, really? It feels like something's going on. And
Okay,
then,
Jamie,
Yes.
I'll tell you something. Where there's smoke, there is usually fire. Research shows that most women who suspect their husband of some kind of dastardly
watch
affair
this, yeah.
is probably right. We don't suspect
Or is a cheater
when there's
herself.
nothing there.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago. Anyway, this is about the people.
Okay, about
All
you.
right,
How
yeah.
about you?
No,
Let's
it's not
talk
about
about
me.
you. Let's talk about what people think
Let's
about
talk about the people and what the people have to ask. How about that? Jack, you sent Jack to therapy.
Jack, are you in therapy?
Yes.
Jack, wait, is your wife pregnant?
Yes.
Wait, last time we talked, you were about getting a divorce. She was leaving you. She was moving back to Indiana.
He's been
You
listening.
were going, yes.
Yeah.
I came in for an emergency session.
I know.
Yeah, I did great work. They're pregnant.
Yeah.
Dr. Stan, miracle worker.
Absolutely. The funny thing is when marriages fall apart, you do two things. You either buy a new house or you get pregnant.
Or you get pregnant.
We can't afford a house.
Yeah, they
Neither
can't.
of which work to solidify the relationship. There you go.
Oh, so what do you think that's about? So when we talked to Sparkles last, she didn't want to be here. She wanted to move to Ohio.
Right.
She hated it here. Jack was whatever Jack was, a bunch of things.
Boring.
Yeah,
A whole
boring.
How
laundry
did this
list.
happen, Jack?
Surprise.
Slot A into
There
slot
are no
B.
surprises in life. Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
No
so-
condoms, no IUDs, no
did
diaphragms.
you intend to get her pregnant
Did you
again?
trap her again?
No.
Well, then why did you ejaculate?
Oh.
No, but Jack,
Sometimes you can't
but
help
Jack,
it, I guess.
Jack, what about your unconscious motivation to keep her with you?
Oh, nice.
To
Maybe.
give her another child so that she really gets tied down to the point where she couldn't go to Ohio.
If it works.
It's hard to run carrying two babies.
That's exactly right. It's expensive and difficult.
Wow, you think that's what he was doing again? Because he did it the first time.
We don't know why people do things unconsciously, but the unconscious really motivates people.
See, I got knocked up because I was 37.
That was
That was a very
conscious.
conscious decision. Yeah. That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Jack and Sparkles were so ambivalent that I'm not sure that anything they did was above board. It was sort of below a little bit.
Yeah,
So
just-
both of them had motivations that were more unconscious problems.
What do you think his wife's motivation was? She didn't want to be here anymore. Why'd she get pregnant?
Well, maybe she felt trapped, and so maybe she felt she had to resolve the trap by having a baby and therefore having to stay.
Could be her, Jack, and maybe it's not you this time.
Hey, any way this works out, people are staying. So
That's what you wanted. There you go.
And now he's in therapy.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
And how's that going?
it's going pretty good. I mean, it's still early, so we're still going through some of my other
They're
issues.
back at childhood.
Right.
That's okay.
We're still in the womb.
You got to stick with it, Jack. You got to stick with it.
He called you, but you were all booked, bastard.
Yeah.
I always have room for Jack.
I didn't want to burden Dr. Stan.
He already knows too much. Plus, you know what, Jack? You're paying the therapist to catch up now. Dr. Stan
Right.
knows all this, so it'd be like,
Right.
it'd be way cheaper. You wouldn't make any money.
Cut to the chase. All
Yeah.
right, here's what's wrong with you.
Exactly. All right, Dr. Stan Katz is with us, and he's a professional, and he will take all your troubles. There's a lot of troubles.
Troubled people.
A lot of troubles. Here's Jody. Hi, Jody.
Hi.
Hi. Dr.
Jody.
Stan Katz is with us. Go ahead. What's your question?
I have been married about 8 years to my husband, and he won't sleep with me. He's like continuously angry or hostile or whatever it is, but he sleeps in his own bed.
Are you talking about
upstairs.
sex or sleep?
Both?
Both. Okay.
Both,
How old
yeah.
is he, Jody?
He is 47.
And what's he tell you the reason is he won't sleep with you?
He just, our marriage was having some trouble about 2 years ago. Well, it's always had problems. We were in counseling for a while, and then tried to work things out. And so we kind of have this mutual, like we're just going to ride it out and take care of the kids and be as nice as we can to each other and work it out.
Okay, so what's he
that's
punishing you for?
awesome.
What is he punishing you for?
You
That's
snore?
what I feel like. I said, why are you still punishing me? Well, there was a couple mistrust issues, that happened.
So you cheated on him a couple times?
No cheating. It was more like smoking and the little bit of
No smoking!
no smoking.
There's more.
And like I hired a housekeeper one time without telling him, and he came home and saw her there, and little things.
No
like-
housekeeper, no
Well,
smoking.
Jody, what's interesting about this is most men can have sex even when they're angry.
Well,
Women
that's-
can't, but most men can have sex when they're angry.
Don't I know
and so
that?
the question becomes, what is he doing to relieve
How'd you
his
get
sexual
pregnant?
tension, frustration?
I don't know.
You don't know. Have you ever asked him?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever asked him what kind of sexual outlet he has?
No.
How do you know he's not having an affair or going to massage parlors?
I don't.
You don't know any of that,
Erectile
do you?
dysfunction or
Okay.
something,
I
maybe.
Right. assume he's not. I mean, he's a very isolated kind of person. He grew up, he left home like at 15 and dropped out of school and then got his degree and got his master's, and he's very successful now, and he did everything by himself, and his mother
Secretary.
But was he a sexual person before the conflict?
Yeah, I mean, we both, yeah.
How often
we
did you
had
used
a
to have
pretty
sex?
good sex life before we got married, and then for the first couple of years, we have 2 little kids now, and then now it's just, he won't, and I've asked him, I said, you don't have to have sex. How about if we just start trying to get closer, spend some time in bed, just chatting or whatever, just to get closer. And I've patted his bum, or tried to give him hugs and kisses, and he just kind of says that's the way it is now,
Jody, when's the last time you had sex?
God, not Over a year ago.
Over a year ago. Okay.
Wow.
And meanwhile, it sounds like the communication is very inadequate at this point. You're not really talking about things. I assume you haven't seen a counselor or therapist because it
We
sounds...
just quit doing that.
You quit doing it?
Yeah.
What happened in the therapy?
Well, I was at the point where, look, there was no plan to move forward to make things better. It just our marriage still sucked, and we were still talking about the same things over and over.
He had to have an explanation. He had to sit down with somebody and say why he was not either attracted to you or why he was punishing you.
Well, he hasn't said that, and I've asked him.
Then you weren't with a very good therapist.
No, well, I mean, the withholding of sex and stuff came after the therapy anyway.
Okay, so now things are getting worse.
So
And
you guys haven't had therapy in a year?
Well, here's the deal: we're not fighting as much. We're managing
No,
and
you're
laughing
friends.
and
You're
stuff.
existing.
Yeah, you're
Ignoring.
roommates.
Right, exactly.
But it's not what you want.
No, not at all.
And let me tell you something. Things do not usually get better on their own. They get worse on their own.
And it's going to be his fault.
Well, and I keep asking him, and I keep emailing.
Thank you, Jamie.
It is
No
gonna be
bitterness
his
there,
fault.
trust me.
I totally agree with Jamie. It is.
She's reaching out.
Yep.
I keep writing little emails and notes saying, what you're doing is destructive, and I thought things are getting better as far as we're being nice to each other. We're not fighting in front of the kids,
But Jody, the question is to ask your husband, what's it going to take? What does he need to have happen? What does he want to bring intimacy back into the
Other
relationship?
women?
I cannot tell you how many times I've
strippers.
asked him, what do you want?
Okay, and
what
what
is
is he-
you're hoping for?
And you're telling me he's not going to tell you?
No, he doesn't answer. He just ignores
Are
me
you chubby?
a little.
Well, Jamie's making the assumption
I'm just
here that he's
thinking-
no longer attracted to you
wasn't
physically.
chubby. When he stopped, I was hot.
Okay.
I'm just saying sometimes, there's a chubby
All right.
thing.
You say he has a master's degree. He's a very bright guy. He's very successful.
Maybe he's gay.
I find it difficult to believe that he will not sit down and tell you what's going on to the best of his ability. To at least say,
He hates her.
no, he might
That's
say,
what it
I'm not
feels
interested
like.
in sex. I have no sex drive. I'm not interested in sleeping with you. I'm not interested in affection. Or I'm angry at you.
But would you
or I'm
believe
mad at
that
you.
if a man said to you, "I don't have a sex drive. I'm not interested in sex anymore"? That's hard to
Stench,
believe.
a 44-year-old guy could start to feel a little bit less sexual than he did previously, but he still has
Especially if his
sexual
wife
needs.
is chubby.
And I am going,
man.
I'm like having dreams. I mean, I'm 39. I'm at my peak here.
Oh, yeah, get her done.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
I mean, I'm having these dreams every night.
Okay, so you need to, as quickly as possible, get yourself to a decent therapist who really can sit down and confront these issues. And then when choosing a therapist, the most important thing is to choose someone who's not going to ally with you and tell you what you want to hear, but to really confront you with the issues that keep you stuck in your problems. So it's got to be someone very confrontive. I would recommend a man because I think your husband will do better with a man. And I
Yeah,
think
we
you'll do
had
okay.
a man, and he was way too passive.
There you go.
Can they
He was-
see you?
What?
Can they see me? It's possible.
You seem busy.
I'm a little busy,
But
though.
you're really good. And
Well, thank you.
We're in South Orange County. He's too
and
far.
I don't do home
out.
visits.
Okay.
So yes, but you need to find someone who's very good. Ask your friends, family, doctors for someone who's very strong, confrontive male therapist.
Because this isn't working.
No.
Okay, so it's
And
not
the
going to work.
best predictor of the past is the future. No.
It's the other way around.
Right.
But that's true. And so here's the thing: it will not get better on its own. I want you to know that. You may become friends who grow old together in a parallel way, but you're not going to have intimacy unless you do something about it now. So Jody, the most important thing to do is find that very strong, confrontive male therapist as soon as possible. Sit down, tell your husband exactly how you feel, and get that therapist to get your husband opened. Okay?
And then
So-
man rape him.
Oh.
No?
That's an interesting idea.
Man rape
I mean,
him.
we didn't get to the idea that she could be the aggressor, maybe, and I'm not sure. My guess is, because I've heard these cases over and over again,
Right.
is that he's not interested in anything at this point. He's,
Right, that's why you got a man rape
Let me
him.
tell you the hypotheses. Either he's really going through something on his own that has nothing to do with her, which can be both physical and emotional, and can decrease the sex drive significantly.
Erectile dysfunction.
Well, it could be deeper than that. It could be, and he could have some other physical problems, or he may be distracted by some other woman at this point. He may be having an affair. It's possible. He may
That
be having an
cleaning
emotional
lady.
affair, which is just as insidious.
Right.
So that could be happening. And the other thing is he could be punishing her. So she's really got to get to the root of this.
Man rape, you think it?
Well, I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll consult
I
with you.
don't have it. So I asked Dr. Stan, my own personal problem. Yeah, I said, look, I
Which
can't.
one?
Working with you. He said, I got to come in. Anyway, no, Dr. Stan Katz is with us for Therapy Thursday.
Yay! Starting over NBC Noon.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. That's
Emmy nominated.
Emmy winning.
Emmy winning, Emmy nominated again.
Life changing.
Noon, and it's all these chicks that are all jacked up, and then he helps them. And then now they live like happy, filling, great lives.
No, we try.
All because of you.
Do the
Look
best
what
we
you
can.
did to Jack. You got him all, his
I
wife
did,
all
thank you.
pregnant.
I know. Look, Dr. Stan is good.
I don't
Thank
really
you.
recall you saying stay with each other and get pregnant, though.
That was my subliminal message.
Was it? Yeah, they got
I'm
it.
very good,
You
very
gotta
good.
read into what Dr. Stan
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Got to read between my lines.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm not like Dr. Phil. I don't have to say it like it is.
Yeah,
I say it
really.
like it isn't, and you figure it out.
I think he wants me to bone my wife and make her stay. Yeah, I
you
heard
go.
it. All right, so here's the deal, Dr. Stan. We have Ann with us. She's been with us since Christmas. It's been a whole ordeal. Basically because of the show, she found out that her husband was cheating, had another girl knocked up, all this stuff. We said, get rid of him, bye-bye. He's a midget. Or no, he's a little person.
Right, LP, please.
He's a little person, and she doesn't feel like she'll ever be with anybody again, so she just keeps being run over by this man. It's been really ugly. He's a mean person.
Mm-hmm.
He really is.
And she continues to stay or go back.
Yeah, and
it's
here
a pattern.
she
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Ann?
Hi.
Hi, Ann. How have you been?
I'm actually much better, and thank you guys.
Well, good. We're glad that because we were worried about you.
Are you with your husband?
No and yes. He comes over when he feels like it.
When he feels like it. How about when you feel like it?
I don't call him. He calls me. He comes over. It starts out with, I want to see the kids, so he comes. I know the pattern now.
Oh,
and
okay, let me ask you a question, Ann. Where's this going? Are you going to stay with him or are you going to divorce him?
We're divorced in May. It's already, everything's gone through. He's with another girl. They had their baby. He was with me. He went back with me. I stayed with him after the whole ordeal, and we already went to court. He came back for about 2 weeks. His girlfriend went into premature labor, and that was the last I heard from him.
So you went back with him even though he was with another woman who was about to have a child?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your self-esteem is probably very, very low.
Yeah, it goes up and down.
Well, no, it stays down because now you're letting him call the shots and come to your house. And is he coming just to see the kids or is he coming to interact with you?
Well, that's okay. He wants to come and see the kids, but he'll call me while they're in school, and he'll say things like, "How are you? I miss you. I'm sorry. You know why I'm with her because she got pregnant. And I came back to you," and stupid stuff. And,
Okay,
and I fall for it.
have you made a decision that you're finished with this man?
No, I want to.
Okay. All right. At least I'm glad you're honest because you sound so ambivalent about this, and you sound like your self-esteem is so low that you're willing to be a doormat to this man. You're willing
that's
to be
what
a
she
doormat.
is.
I
and
love Jamie.
Okay.
You are. It drives me insane. I want to smack you.
My guess, Ann, is that your childhood was not great. That somewhere along the line, you're modeling what you saw. You either had a father who was abusive, or
Ooh, I had a lot of fathers.
a lot of fathers. You don't trust men. You're not sure any men are better than the man you have. You're not sure you'll find someone better. A lot of women think it's better to be with a terrible, disgusting, abusive man than to have no man at all.
Oh, that's Ann.
Yeah.
Ann would rather be with this midget that's horrible to her than
Little
be
person.
alone.
This
Little
guy
person.
sends us. This guy sent us emails too. He's nasty.
Yeah, I
He
know
is
the
a
size
nasty
size doesn't matter in this.
Yeah.
He's just a nasty guy.
No, but I want you to picture troll.
Jamie.
Yeah.
He sent you guys emails?
Yeah,
Yes.
he sent us emails.
He told me he did that, and I called him a liar because he said he was writing you guys, telling you that he was the bad guy and he's sorry.
No, that's not what he wrote at all. He quite wrote the opposite.
Wrote
Ann.
the opposite, like laughing at you.
Yeah.
Were his emails.
He said, "Ha ha, she's in an insane asylum. Your perfect little friend is in an insane asylum.
Crap
While
like that.
my beautiful new girlfriend had a beautiful baby, and we're very happy while she's a nut job and took too many pills."
And why do you want to be with a man who's treated you this way?
God.
Ann,
yes?
why do you want to be with a man who's treated you this way?
Because I don't want to be alone,
Well, yeah, that, and
and I like being
and my
treated like
kids.
crap.
I tell myself, he wrote you about what? Okay.
No, you
See,
see,
this is what
I
she's
know
hung
what
up on.
Yeah, you're hung up on this. This is your engagement with him. You're engaged in the whole process here. But I'm asking the more important question. Why do you want to be with a man who treats you this way?
When he's not around, I don't want to be with him. And then when he comes over, something happens, and I
What
get
happens?
retarded.
What do you mean what happens? Is he so gorgeous and so handsome that you
he's
can't
a
think
midget.
straight?
No.
Okay. Is he so charming? Because that's a cycle of abuse with domestic violence. Men
Yeah.
abuse women that are charming. Is he so charming and loving and warm and contrite that all of a sudden you're going to take him back? Is that what happens?
No, you know what I think it is? It's that he left me, and I feel...
Your ego's involved. But you
Maybe
also,
that's
yes, you're trying to win him back because your ego's so damaged.
Yeah, maybe that's
No, it's
we were
also
together.
because you know what else is going on, Ann? Because you feel it's too hard to find someone else. And he's the father of your children, and you know him, and he's predictable, and you want to go out there now and find another man because in your estimation and your belief system, you're going to find another abusive man. So why not stay with the first abusive man instead of trading him in for a second abusive man?
And did you hear what he said, Ann? And I think it's a really, really great point. How many women would rather stay with somebody that's a horrible, horrible troll than be alone? That's you.
Yeah.
If you saw this of one of your girlfriends that they were with a horrible, mean, verbally abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever this guy is, troll, but she would rather be with that guy than be alone. Wouldn't you smack the holy tar out of her?
Yeah,
You'd think she was
You're
stupid,
that
Ann.
girl, Ann.
I know.
Well, Ann, you have to get comfortable with being alone. You have to look at this situation this way, that it's better to be alone than to be with this man. Not think about other men out there. Just think about it's better to be alone. And look at why your self-esteem is so very depleted at this point. Every time you go back and forth with him, you take off points. Your self-esteem quotient goes down, down, down. You're going to feel worse.
That's why I actually called. When you said something earlier about the men that do this kind of stuff have low self-esteem, or they're getting older and they want a younger girl and they feel bad about themselves, I don't think he does. I really think he...
Because you're brainwashed.
Wait, you don't think he feels bad about himself?
No.
I didn't say that he felt bad about himself. I said that men sometimes will leave because of their own fear of growing older and their own fear of their mortality and their own fear that they're not attractive anymore. That's why men will leave. And so they find something. They're also impulsive. And here's the other thing. All affairs begin with wanting something else in your life that you're not having. So you want excitement in some way. And unpredictable, unfamiliar women provide excitement. And that translates into anxiety. And anxiety translates into good sex. So that's what happens for a lot of guys. They think very much with their penis, and that's what happens.
And is that
Can I say that word? Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Thank
Jack
you.
just did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing it right now.
Okay.
All right, Ann, hold on, okay?
Okay.
All right, hold on. We have a buttload of other people. I have these emails right here. Yeah. Jamie, why don't you look... Well, I realize it's cuss words.
Yeah, he swears. He's an angry little guy.
Here's an update for Jamie, Jack, and Stench. My fiance gave birth 2 weeks early to a healthy baby girl, 7 pounds, 4 ounces, 19 and a quarter inches long on February 17th at 2:45 a.m. 2 days later, Ann swallowed some pills and ended up in the nut ward for a mini vacation. This life just keeps getting better and better. So what are you going to give me for my story? You gave Ann so much at Christmas, thought you might have something nice for my new family.
Well, you know, that's such an interesting email because what it says is, I'm really proud of my new baby. Here's how big it is and everything else.
And I'm an
and
a-hole.
then says, you know, and my ex-wife, look how crazy and a nut job she is. And you gave her something, and what are you going to reward me with? So that this guy has, it sounds like, and I'm, you know, what do I know? Sounds a little delusional, a little bit delusional, a little grandiose, a little bit that he externalized responsibility for all problems onto her. He takes no personal responsibility. Even if Ann is having severe psychiatric problems, it didn't give him the right, it didn't give him permission, it didn't give him the entree to go be with another woman and to act this way at all.
Yeah, he's... Anyway.
It's
He's
really
a
shameful.
treat.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a great guy. Gosh, Ann's lucky that she keeps hooking back up with him.
Yeah,
He's dreamy.
and let me just say this. If you're going to be involved with this man, then you can right now sit down, write your name in the black book, and say your life is over with emotionally. Because this guy has no contrition. He's not at all apologetic. He doesn't take any personal responsibility. So I don't know what he's saying to you that seduces you back into this relationship, but clearly that email speaks really loudly.
The reason for the email is simple. You said recently that I would end up miserable. Let's see. If you mean being with a hot woman, having a baby girl in March, and having the time of my life miserable, then yes, I must be. Hey, I'm leaving today for my Valentine's surprise for Carla. We're going to one of Ann's favorite places. What is she doing?
Okay.
Ha, ha, ha.
Jamie, Ann, are you listening
This
to
guy's
this?
nasty.
Wait, Ann, are you listening to this?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask a question. Did you just hear what Jamie read?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not her name.
I know, but let me ask you a question. If this is true, how do you feel about it?
Like crap, because
Okay.
he's been lying again.
Oh, you're kidding. He lies?
That's what makes you feel bad?
No, wait. You just found out he lies again?
No.
Okay, you know what? I want to tell you something. I can hear how sad you are. You're crying. You know what? You're devastated. And you know what? Someone's got to pick you up and give you a backbone. You have lost your backbone. It's gone. You have lost your backbone. You are the doormat. You've got to have some self-esteem and stand up to this guy and say, I'm not interested at all. I will promote him as a father if he's a good father. I will be polite. I will show my children we can get along. But Ann, give it up.
And she has support. She's got a great sister. Her sister came in here with her and stands behind her. She's got people with her.
Okay, you have to really. Have you gone into any kind of therapy or counseling?
The email, I think it was the first one, was true. I did go to a psychiatric ward for 72 hours because he came back, and then that's when he took off again. So I can't believe he would send that.
Okay, you're going to get very hung up on this email.
Yeah, you're
very
obsessed with
hurtful.
this stupid email, yeah.
You know what? But she needs to hear the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is this man is bragging and gloating about his new relationship. He's blaming you for all the issues and problems. He takes no personal responsibility. You have to have enough stamina, enough backbone to say, I want nothing to do with this man. Zero.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Remember, life's about Ann, and why are you living for that guy?
Yeah.
Come
You're
on,
right.
Ann. And don't you dare, you crazy bitch, don't you dare hang up from this phone and call him up and start yelling at him.
And you would also profit from a women's support group because you really have no sense of self, no sense of womanhood, and I would like to see you get into a women's group at some counseling center nearby.
Or that starting over show would be good.
Well, that starting show would be good, but unfortunately that's a long application process.
I think Ann's a good, Ann, hold on, okay?
Okay.
All right. I hate doing that. I mean, but he's telling her
That's a reality. That's a reality check for her.
He apologized to us.
That's a reality check.
We've been with this story since early December.
Yeah. It's what, March?
Yeah.
There's a public service show, I can tell.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo. All right. The rest of your calls, I know we're running a little bit late, but I know a lot of you, man, there's a lot of jacked up people.
I'm sorry.
God. What should we send Ann's ex-husband?
I don't know.
Nothing. I don't like that guy.
Can I ask you something, Dr. Katz?
like that
And
guy.
Dr. Stan Katz is with us here, by the way, on Therapy Thursday. And you can see him every single gosh darn day, Monday through Friday, on NBC at noon on the Emmy Award-winning show, Starting Over!
Yay!
It's a great show, and you do a great job.
They fix people like big time.
We do.
Yeah, you do fix people. And so here is the thing, and I don't know, I feel like I know a lot of the things, but if I knew that somebody was taking pills and was in a psych ward and I had destroyed their life and my own children so much that, their own mother was going to take her own life and I put her in a psych ward, I don't think I could ever write a gloating email about it. I would feel so much shame and so much sorrow that I put somebody through that.
Yeah, but you have a conscience.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, you have a well-developed conscience. That means you have empathy for other people. That means that you don't hurt people because you actually can empathize with them. Clearly, if this man's email is true and valid, he has no conscience and he has no ability to empathize with anyone else.
Or can also you go so extreme that you've destroyed people and the people around you so much that you put up those blockers where, all right, I'm going to, make this their fault or whatever because I feel so horrible.
You rationalize and justify, and that sounds like justification and rationalization. He feels he deserves to do anything he wanted to do because his wife was not the wife she wanted to be.
She was crazy or
whatever it was,
Yeah.
yeah. So therefore, his behavior is not accountable at all.
Wow. That's just, it's been such a sad story since December.
Yeah. And we've got more email from that guy too where he's wanted to come on the show before, but he tells us this is what you're doing. You're going to talk to me about this or this or this, or I'm going to hang up. And it's like, listen, you little bastard, we're not afraid of you and we're not going to, it's our show.
Yeah.
You come on with no conditions.
Those are the
so
guys.
We're not talking to
those
them.
guys are really interested in marital therapy because they'll say, I'm going to go to the marital therapist once and I'm going to tell him what it is. I'm going to tell him what your problem is. But if you have a good marital therapist, what you're going to find is there's a way to hook them. There's a way to get him hooked, the way to get him into the relationship and the therapy. And so what happened, you just have to find the right marital therapist.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, she just needs some, I agree with you.
Stand up, be strong. I like that. Get a backbone.
Get a backbone.
Backbone and some therapy, your own self, and a support group. And,
Yes.
a million movies have been made about this. All right. Let's see here. Which one do y'all want? Let's see here. Married husband cheated. Married husband says not in love with anymore. Can't let go of soon-to-be ex-husband. Anybody?
I like the not in love with because that's an interesting concept. Because I wrote a book about that.
Oh, perfect. Oh, nice tie-in.
Yeah, nice tie. It's an old book. It's only available on Amazon. So.
Okay, what's the name of the book?
False Love and Other Romantic Illusions.
Ooh, I like the name of it.
It's a cool book. Yeah, it's a very good book about love.
All right, here is Alicia. Hi, Alicia.
Alicia.
She got scared.
She's so sad she can't even talk to us anymore. What happened to Alicia? Is she there? Hold on, let me just write down this thing. All right, I got her number. If you want to come in and get her number, then we can call her back. I don't know why she wasn't there.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna hit something else. What is this one? This one's Monica. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Hi.
Monica.
We wanted to talk to Alicia. There was a whole book set
we'll
up.
talk
It was,
to you,
it was
Monica.
really nice. My Monica, can you come here and get this number, please? All right, go ahead.
Okay. I kind of don't know where to start. I've been married less than a year.
How old are you?
We're pretty young. We're 22.
Okay.
He's in the Marine Corps. He's actually in Iraq right now. And we've already had some mistrust issues already. But lately, I've been catching him looking at a lot of Asian pornography.
Oh, Asian porn.
Is he in Iraq?
Yeah, well, he's in Iraq right now. He just left the beginning of
Okay.
it.
So, he was home for a while. How long was he home for?
He was home. This is his second deployment, so he was home for 11 months.
Okay, and during the 11 months, he was looking at pornography?
Asian porn.
I have good news for you. There's almost no Asians in Iraq.
Well, no, I know that. But I think it's gone on.
You know what's funny? Sorry, Monica, but that didn't even dawn on me until you said it. I
So
was
he's
like,
not cheating.
because in my head he's in Korea. You know.
Well, it's much deeper than that.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
it's
You're on the
also-
wrong show. Can I just tell you? Unfortunately, you may be with the right therapist, but you're on the wrong show. It's much deeper than that.
All right, go
Dang it,
ahead.
I knew you were going to give me a hard time.
No, it didn't even dawn on me because in my head he's in Korea and he's in like the World War,
Yeah,
and
it's
you
like,
know, and
whoa.
he's like freaking out and he's Asian porn and all this stuff. But then like it dawned on me, yeah, Iraq.
Well, we have like a webcam, so I think he's like having sex over the internet.
Okay, let's get down to the bottom line. Do you think he's cheating on you?
No, but he has kind of in the beginning of our marriage.
What do you mean, kind of?
Well,
Like being kind of pregnant.
well, he was talking to another girl.
He had an emotional affair?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know if he was sexually intimate with her?
Well, I don't think so because she was out of state. So
Do men have emotional affairs?
Oh, they do.
They do?
And you know what?
What are they?
They're friendships that develop into secrecy, privacy, special kinds of thoughts that move into sexual innuendo, and there's something you keep from your primary partner.
So like with ex-girlfriends and stuff?
Ex-girlfriend. Most of them take place, about 50% take place in the workplace because now so many women in the workplace, they find trusted people
So
that
you
develop
didn't work
friendships.
and you kept in touch with like your ex-girlfriends. Is that an emotional affair?
You know, I know we're not talking about anybody you know.
No, we're not. But I'm just
In
saying, like, do
theory.
you think like keeping up
I'll
with your
tell you
ex?
what. Here's the highlights of an emotional affair. Highlights of an emotional affair are you're telling your partner, your friend, things that you wouldn't tell your partner or things you should be telling your partner.
Dr. James.
And you're keeping them private from your partner.
So it's anything you wouldn't tell your partner, you do behind the
Exactly.
scenes. I get you.
Yeah.
All
That
right,
becomes
anyway.
the tenets of emotional
well,
affairs.
he developed that friend 6 days after we were married, and I caught them talking, and I told her, I wasn't comfortable. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that to end it, but they continued it, and he would call her from 6 in the morning.
Wait. This is 6 days after you got married?
6 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and how long did you guys know each other before you got married?
We known each other a year and a half.
A year and a half, and you got married at 22. I mean, this really speaks to the issue of being very young and getting married, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You have to see what Jack, Stench, and Jamie are doing in the studio. They're doing, I think, the Macarena at this point. And I'm trying to do serious
We're
therapy
having a
here.
sign language.
No, I'm
round.
telling you what's that. All right, let
Yeah.
me just be honest with you. He's telling me that I need to go to break, right?
In
But
1
I
minute.
can't understand his sign language.
I see. I
And
thought it was a Macarena, personally.
So he's saying to me in sign language, we need to go to break so we can do the EIP thing.
Yeah, the freeloader.
The
Okay.
freeloader thing, right?
But we don't
so
want to leave Monica hanging, do we?
No.
No.
And so he's doing these signs, so then Jack starts pulling on his ear, and I start doing the Macarena, and Monica, I'm so sorry.
And then I start flipping the bird, and then Dr. Stan gets interrupted.
Right.
Okay, Monica, I promise to come back and try to help you, despite my colleagues here.
Monica lost me at Asian porn.
Monica, are you mad?
No,
sorry.
I'm trying to understand you guys.
I know, but
So are we.
But see, Stench gave me this signal that said we need to go to break.
Okay.
And I didn't understand it because he was doing it with his hands and it didn't make any sense. So I started doing a chicken wing thing with my arms back at him, going, yeah, well, you're chicken. And then Jack started pulling on his ear like slide or steel bases. And then I finally stared doing the Macarena, all while you were discussing things with Dr. Stan.
Who was watching us, trying to give you an answer.
Good thing I can multitask.
Yeah, exactly. So hold on. We're going to get all your answers in a minute. Okay,
All right.
Monica? All right. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm really sorry. Why didn't you join in? Hey, Alicia?
Hello?
Hi, your husband doesn't love you anymore?
Well, apparently, after 15 years, he's not sure what he wants to do.
You know, Dr. Stan wrote a book about that. We will talk about.
we have to take a break first?
Yeah. That's why we did all the
That was the whole
Macarena.
fight we were having.
Okay.
God, we don't make
Can we
this
do the
crap-
YMCA? No.
Yeah, see, you should have jumped in.
Absolutely.
Bang, bang, bang. Hey, everybody, it's Therapy Thursday.
Yay! Dr. Stan!
Dr. Stan is in the hizzy, and you can watch him every single day, Monday through Friday, on the Emmy Award-winning Starting Over at Noon on...
NBC.
Exactly. Good answer, boys. All right, so here's the deal. We have had, so far, Monica. We never really got to get to... I'm sorry. We'll just zip it.
Okay.
All right, where were you with her?
I don't know.
Asian porn.
Oh, yeah, her husband enjoys Asian...
Is she on the line now?
Emotional
Yes.
affair.
Monica, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your question?
Well, okay, my question is he does a lot of lying, like denying that it's him, and I guess it's a trust issue. He lies to me a lot.
Trust issue. 6 days after you're married, he's having an emotional affair with someone else. There's more than a trust issue here. There's probably some regret that he got married at 22. And like many servicemen, they marry often before they go off to war because they want some legacy. They want to have a baby sometimes. They want someone to...
Money.
They want someone to send them packages and love letters. But it's not the right reasons to get married often.
So what should I do?
Well, let me ask you a question. You have lots of trust issues. You've been married less than a year?
Yes,
Okay. And he's deployed right now.
right.
When does he come back?
He comes back in November.
Okay. So what are you going to do between now and November? What are your choices?
Well, I'm pregnant right now, so...
Oh, surprise.
Oh.
Gee, am I surprised at that?
Huh?
Okay. Was that planned?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, now you complicated things, and this is
Yeah.
this is always what I say to people: don't have children until your marriage is solidified and stable.
Whoops.
And so your marriage certainly wasn't stable. Jamie's a walking advertisement.
Whoops, really? You forgot to tell me that
yes,
one.
Exactly. But so you're pregnant now, okay? And when are you due?
I'm due October 25th.
Okay, right before he comes home. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are your choices right now?
God, what perfect. You get her knocked up and then leave for 9 months.
Well, like when I tell
So
him,
compassion.
like this is getting bad, I'm gonna leave. He'll be like, oh no, like
I
things are
love you.
different. Yeah. So I mean,
do you want to leave pregnant and while he's in Iraq?
Well, I mean, I've talked to my family about it, and I've talked to his family about it, and I've talked to him about it, and
Okay, and
I mean, I haven't.
What's
left,
the answer?
I haven't left. I mean, his mom.
We didn't ask you who you talked to. That wasn't the question.
no. But Monica, the question is,
Well, I'm still here. I guess I'm stupid.
no, not necessarily. You don't. You say you're not sure he's actually cheated on you. Looking at pornography doesn't mean a man will cheat on
Well,
you,
he hasn't cheated on me physically,
but maybe
a,
emotionally.
a lot of it has.
Do you have
yeah.
any Asian girlfriends?
No.
So, Monica, here's the thing. I think your choice really is to go through your pregnancy, unless you're going to. You think you're terminating your pregnancy?
No.
Okay, so you're going to go through your pregnancy, and you're going to see what happens when he comes home, and see if you want to be with him, because that's not going to change. You have two choices. You're going to divorce him, and you're going to have a baby with him. You're going to have to get along with him, or you're going to be with him. And so you're 22, and you're going to have to find out if this can work. You're going to have to do some really hard work when he comes home, and really see if you can build the trust again.
And like Dr. Wu, my dermatologist, she's like way hot, so I would do a three-way with her.
That's really, Jamie. Sometimes
so
you're so
random.
helpful.
What's that?
Yeah, oh,
I'm just saying, maybe bringing an Asian into the home isn't a bad idea.
And I bet
Monica-
Dr. Wu's wide
Monica-
open for that.
wait, the other thing, Jamie,
If he prefers,
Asian women.
yeah, then what?
Well, he
I
may
got a
prefer
dermatologist
wait
for
a
him.
second, Wait a second. He may prefer Asian women as a sexual object, but he
Like
may
a
not.
fetish?
No, but he may not really want to marry an Asian woman. He may just say they're more attractive, just like someone may think that tall blondes are more attractive, but not necessarily marry one.
He likes their tiny
That's only
titties.
one dimension. It's
Oh, my God.
What? Asian women have tiny titties?
okay. So here's the thing. I think what you ought to do for the sake of yourself and your child and your
they all
husband
do.
is to really maybe get some personal counseling, and then when he comes home to really work on the relationship. The other thing I want to talk about is when guys are overseas,
Yeah.
and they have sexual needs, and they're young guys, 22, they're going to look at all kinds of pornography. They could even act out, which may have nothing to do with you at all. In other words, it may just be about them and whether or not they can actually contain their sexual desires for that long a period of time.
Yeah, that's a long time for him to be all dried up.
It's like
no,
being a
but
priest.
he
It's
was
an abnormal
doing it
situation.
Before he left at my house,
He did what?
He was looking at Asian porn at your house while you were there?
when I was at work.
Okay.
Like, he always does it.
And wait, did you confront him with
warming
it?
up.
Did you confront him with it?
Yeah, and he's like, I didn't look at it, and I'm like, it's on the internet.
Okay,
I
so he
can
was
do it.
embarrassed. He
Wasn't
was
me.
embarrassed. Okay, so the question is, just because people look at pornography doesn't mean they're going to cheat. We know that. That's a fact. 30 million people a day are looking at pornography.
Otherwise, Jack loves
cheating.
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a farmer.
Well, that's true. People are very curious what's on the net.
We look at really fun
Yeah,
stuff
if
here
you
at work.
saw what Jack and Stench see,
Right.
yeah,
Doesn't
believe
mean
me.
they're necessarily interested in
Exactly.
engaging with those
yeah.
objects.
But we do like to look at it and go,
Right.
hey, look at that.
But Monica, you got to be.
But what about women that embrace the porn? Like, I don't mind to see a porn with my boyfriend. I don't care.
That's fine. It's very
yeah,
different
why
because
don't you
you-
embrace the Asian women?
No, because you're using porn to stimulate your sexual relationship. That's different.
Yeah, because I like the zitty asses.
Yeah, some people are using porn to get out of their relationship, to take them away from a relationship that's not very healthy for
So
them.
maybe she should embrace it. Try that.
Yeah, you're suggesting that she grows long black hair and slanty eyes, but
No,
that's not going to work.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that she watch it with him.
Oh, that may be true, but he's not willing to admit it yet. He's 22 years old. He's a young guy.
That's
he's not willing to
embarrassing.
admit it at this point. But you know what? You have a baby. You have to really think about this. And I don't think it's time to get out. I think it's time to do the work when he gets home.
Okay.
I don't think you can do anything right now except get your own, do your own work and really get a good sense of self and be a good mother and think about what you want to do and what your choices are.
Get rid of the internet before he gets back.
Yeah, well, that's not going to work. That will not work.
All right, real fast. We have time for one more?
Yeah, do
right.
Alicia.
Huh?
It was Alicia that we.
No.
Well,
yeah, we have time for
okay,
that
we have time for two more. Sandy.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
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 Okay, my question is, my ex-husband, he is now my ex-husband. At the time when we were married, he would hump the bed, and I didn't know that that's what he was doing for years.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
What does that mean?
I didn't know that, okay, he was humping the bed.
I understand. While you were in it, where were you?
Yes, I would be sleeping.
And he was masturbating, is what you're saying?
Well, he wasn't, I guess it's a form of masturbation. That's what a counselor, one of our family counselors told him.
So he wasn't using his hand to masturbate? He was rubbing his weenie on the sheets?
Yes.
And was he sleeping or was he awake?
No, he was awake.
Okay, and you were awake too, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Well, how do you
I
know
was
then what
awake
was going on?
Because for many years I would wake up to the squeaking and the bed moving, and every time I'd wake up, he would stop.
Okay, so you actually saw him do this, is what you're saying?
After maybe a few years, yes, I
Okay.
did actually see him, and we
cheating with
made
a
eye
posturpedic.
contact.
Yeah. So what is your question?
Well, my question is, first of all, is that normal?
Yeah, is it?
On this show, probably it is.
Jack, you hump your bed?
Almost daily.
Well,
Yeah.
let me just say this.
All
you know,
right.
it sounds like he was sexually frustrated for whatever reasons. I don't know how your sex life was. And
It
this
wasn't good. I did not have any. After kids, I didn't have a sex drive.
Okay, so it was a form of masturbation to him.
Yeah,
That's
it
all
was
it was.
just his own way.
it
You
was
guys
no
got
different
nice
than,
sheets.
Yeah, it was no different
Okay.
than him touching himself or using some kind of object.
Or sofa.
But I did confront him because I'm very open-minded about, masturbation, and I confronted him many times, and I told him if you need to masturbate, you need to do that in private. Isn't that a private thing?
No, I do it in front of my boyfriend all the time.
Well, of course it's private, but he thought you were sleeping. Remember this? He would wake you up. He thought you were
Okay.
asleep, and that's
His
what
room,
happened.
too.
But
And you
know
had a
what?
hot mattress.
But the problem with this relationship,
Sometimes
wait,
it's really a turn on to watch somebody do that.
it can be. But the problem in this relationship, Jamie, is that she had no sex drive for
Oh,
him,
yeah,
and
that's
so
right.
that's one of the reasons they're divorced now.
Now
I
she's
think.
mad at him having freaking a little masturbation
I mean,
time.
I wouldn't think anything worse of him because of this at this point.
And why
Okay,
why
now
are you
what-
worried about now? You guys are divorced. He's humping somebody else's mattress.
No, I'm not worried about it. I think it still bothers me because he lied about it for so many years.
Oh, he was embarrassed. You know, when people
He's
are
humping
embarrassed,
a bed. I would lie too.
when you're
Right.
embarrassed or you're filled with shame, you
Sometimes
lie.
our kids would be in bed with us.
Oh, all right.
Well, he
Go
thought,
ahead, doctor.
listen, he thought the kids were sleeping, thought you were sleeping. Inappropriate to do this with children, of course. It's inappropriate to expose children to
But
any
they
kind
were
of sexual
15.
behavior. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But my guess is you put the children there as some way to distance yourself from him anyway. So because you were in
Oh
some
yeah,
sex.
that's your fault.
So it sounds like a fairly dysfunctional relationship, and you resolved it by divorce. So hopefully you're in a
yeah, you
healthier
put
one
those
now.
kids in the bed so you wouldn't have to hump him your own self.
No, I'm just a very. I
You didn't do
spoiled my
anything
kids.
wrong, huh, Sandy?
No, I know I did.
Are you in a new
I
relationship,
have no
Sandy?
fault in the relationship. I know that I did.
Sandy,
Uh-huh.
are you in a new relationship?
Yeah, but it's not a serious one.
Do you have sex?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that because sometimes no sex drive
Yay.
turns into sex drive with another partner.
But only on the couch.
Right.
Because she hates beds. She hates all beds. All right, Sandy, we're gonna go, okay?
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Sandy.
Alicia, we didn't get to you.
oh no.
Alicia?
She's gone again anyway.
Hello?
Oh, Alicia.
He says he doesn't love her. Can you answer real fast?
Okay. He says he doesn't love you, doesn't know what he wants to do. Yes, Alicia?
I'm sorry, what now?
He says he doesn't love you and he doesn't know what he wants to do.
Oh, he says he doesn't love me and he wants to move out.
Okay.
And
15 years married.
out of 15 years marriage, 2 kids. And by the way, hi, everybody.
Hi.
Is he willing to go to any counseling with you?
We've done, actually, I've done a lot.
No,
a lot
not
of
you.
counseling.
Has he done it with you?
He doesn't think he needs it.
Okay. So here's the thing. What he owes you, what he really owes you and your kids is at least to sit down with a professional and talk this out. Even if it ends up in separation and talk about the best way to separate, he owes you this. This is his obligation to you. This is not a choice. He owes you that after all this marriage, after committing to you and having children with you, he owes you sitting down with a third party who can help you understand what's going on. That is the most important thing you could do right now.
All right, so tell him that.
We've tried that. I've tried that. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
then you sound like you have another choice. It sounds like he's going to move out, and you're going to have to move on with your life.
Right.
Well,
What-
the beginning of this week, he said, I actually went to his work, and just to go surprise him to see how are you, how's it going at lunch, and
See if he's
up on
boning
him.
the secretary.
Yeah, well, kind of check up on him.
Yeah.
At any rate, he was sitting down, and I looked at his computer, and he has a lot of IM windows open. He's
Yes.
chatting with a lot of different women.
Gee, am I surprised? Well, when he told you he doesn't love you anymore and he wants out, he's looking for another woman right now. And so what he's telling you, he doesn't want to work on it with you. And I think that's the problem. The problem is not that he wants out or that he doesn't have the feelings he had for you, that he doesn't even want to sit down and talk with you about it. He may be afraid. He may be embarrassed. But I think he really owes you this. He owes you to talk it out with you and tell you exactly what's going on with him.
He doesn't want to open up.
Well,
There's
then
nothing
you
I
can't
can
make
say.
him do it. Then all you can do
Yeah.
is then you can choose to take care of yourself and your kids and say, I'm not going to engage with you in this. I mean, the relationship sounds like it's over. It's always over if one person wants out and is not willing to work on it.
Yeah, and if you can't get any answers, then you need to just be done. I mean, I feel like you're just sitting there begging for answers.
Yeah, unrequited love is the worst kind of love, where you love someone, they don't love you. And so you have to sit there and say, what kind of person am I that I'm still loving or caring about someone who doesn't care enough about me and my kids to sit down with a psychologist?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
Okay.
stop begging for
So
answers.
take
just
care of
walk
yourself.
away.
You take care of yourself and strengthen your backbone, okay?
Right. Well, I did. I actually did. He said on the way home we were talking, and I said, look, I don't think it's acceptable that you're IMing different women.
He already told you he doesn't love you and anything. That's not even an
And he
issue
wants to move
anymore.
out.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I said, well, I think it's time for you to move out. He
Good.
said, fine, I'm going to move out.
Okay.
But he's
Perfect.
still there.
He's
Okay,
done.
well, then you may have to move him out, okay?
Okay.
So you may have to move him out, you may have to get an attorney, and you may have to take care of yourself. At this point now, you have to really take care of yourself and your children. Do not take care of him,
Yay! This
Okay.
is your life, Alicia.
okay?
Okay?
Make good choices.
Don't let
But
him
how do I
control
get-
it.
How do I get stronger?
Well, you have to do that by going into your own therapy and really talking about your weaknesses and what you want to change about yourself. Okay?
You control you. You don't let
yes,
him
it's
control
a challenge,
you.
okay?
Yeah, there we go.
Not a threat.
All right, Alicia, and she can get your book